On March 25th, 2023, Mars is finally changing signs. It's been in Gemini for 7 months now, since August, because of the whole retrograde season that happened from September 3rd through March 15th, because Mars, there was a pre-shadow and then a retrograde phase and post-shadow that we've just ended. And we're almost 10 days out of that, but Mars was in the sign of Gemini for an extended period of time because of that retrograde season, and the retrograde phase was from October 30th through January 12th of 2023, October 30th, 2022 through January 12th of this year. And now it's coming to an end. So we've been working with this Mars and Gemini, really, wanting to be flexible and adaptable, get our way through, communication, engage in such things as, speaking, thinking, writing, all those kinds of things. And the themes that I discussed on my video on Mars, the whole Mars retrograde season in Gemini. I had a video for Mars in Gemini, which you can go watch to sort of review that time period and look back on it, because now it's coming to an end and we can reflect and tie up those loose ends, but we can also move on. Mars is moving into a new sign. It's moving into a new part of the sky. And that's what I'm going to be discussing here. So, Mars enters Cancer on March 20th. It leaves Cancer on May 20th. It enters Leo, which I believe Mars in Leo is going to be a part of a fixed Grand Cross or T-square in the middle of May of this year, so a couple months. And then Mars will move into Leo on May 20th, which is a really strong placement about courage and, shining your light. And I may discuss what that means and what it indicates and the qualities of that transit when we get there. But for now, Mars is in Cancer. And it's important to look to where you can find planets or points in the cardinal signs, which would be Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. And you're going to want to look to where of the degree of that, of those cardinal placements, if you have any planets. The personal planets, Mercury, Venus, Mars. Middle planets, Jupiter, Saturn. The outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. And then the luminaries, your sun and moon, or points, the ascendant, the midheaven, the nodes of the moon. You're going to want to look to see where the degree is at of those planets or points, because Mars is going to impact you in some way or another if you have planets or points in those cardinal signs, either through a sextile, and this doesn't have to be just cardinal signs, but just, transits in general, a sextile, when planets, let's say we have one planet in a water sign, one planet in an earth sign, that would be a sextile. They wouldn't be opposite one another or the same sign. So Cancer and Taurus would sextile each other. Or we could say a trine. So, and I'll get into that. But anyway, planets or points in the cardinal signs, and what degree those planets or points are at, because Mars is going to hit that degree. And affect you in that way. And, this is important to know and consider during this time. And also, The water signs too. The other two water signs, Pisces and Scorpio, and Mars is going to trine whatever planet's planet or point is in that water sign. So it just depends. Sextiles again. So Taurus and Virgo with sextile Cancer. Trines, when it comes to Cancer, are signs in the same element. So whenever a planet is in the same element as another planet, if it would, make an aspect, it would be a trine. So Mars in Cancer, you have something in Scorpio and Pisces that would trine. An opposition, if you have a planet or point in Capricorn, the opposite sign to Cancer. Or any planets in Cancer would make for a conjunction, or it would be a square, which is 90 degrees. And if you have any planet or point in the signs of Aries and Libra, then Mars in Cancer would square that planet or point, which is not easy, a conversation of tension, but there's ultimate evolution and growth and pushing forward and making something happen due to that tension and not sitting stagnant on it, but actually, picking up and, making room for change and, acting on something that's, the benefit of that, uncomfortable energy of a squares to sort of go through that, you know, motion of life and it can be hard, but we can gain a lot and, we can achieve a lot from that square energy, which is, and there's attention to it. So that's what I'm going to say to that. So now let's get into Mars and Cancer. So, the first thing to note is if you were to put placements in, sort of pecking order of not best and worst, but easier and more difficult. Mars rules Aries. And so this would be, Mars would be in its ruling sign. So it would express its qualities the easiest. Mars in Libra is detriment. Is in its detriment because Libra is opposite Aries, and Mars does not rule Libra. So, that's that whole story. Mars is exalted in Capricorn, but Mars is at its fall in Cancer. And so Mars is assertive energy. It is male energy. It is what you do when you wake up in the morning. It propels and makes us so that we can move our lives in a positive direction. It looks at, momentum. It takes a look at progress, building ourselves. It also deals with, muscles and working out. And, is that Mars would, really be achieved, and where's the energy at? Because Mars brings the energy, the sort of gas that you fuel up your car with. And so Mars in Cancer, Mars is, wants to fight and wants to be assertive, but then Cancer is a feminine energy that wants to go inside and be more introverted and wants to be at home. And so, at best with this transit, you can find that your loyalty to your clan or, family is stronger during this time. And this is a time where it's great to tend to your nest. Take care of your family, fighting for your family and really taking action and being assertive when it comes to spending time with your family and initiating something new in your family, like a new trip that you want to go on, or moving to a new house, or something like that. It may be, decorating your home, fixing a drain pipe. Maybe it is, making a, renovation or, innovation in your home, or, deciding to start out this new meal plan. Anything that you want to initiate that deals with the Cancerian themes of home and family, and also nourishment, because that's another thing that Cancer has to do with, and Mars is also sort of astrologically, they say Mars isn't, as if we were to personify happy, in Libra, um, but I don't believe that some planetary placements are above others. But, I just want to bring in that there was this system, there was this sort of concept that I found out about a year ago called, I think it's My Plate, where you have a balanced meal. And Cancer deals with food, and it's about what you put in your body and how you want to nourish and feed and take care of your body. And, let's get real that Mars is sort of a tough, energy that, let's face reality and, go after something. And so there's a difference between nurturing and coddling. And so maybe we can take a closer look at that with Mars and Cancer, how we can nurture and nourish others, through, providing for your physical needs, if we were to look at the whole kind of pyramid of needs. And also we can nourish and nurture others on the emotional level as well, being more, mentally and emotionally available for them. Yeah, this is a time where we can be assertive with that. So, loyalty when it comes to family. Mars rules of how you defend yourself, and how you react and stand up for yourself. So there's a strong need to protect those whom you love. That's ultimately what this comes down to. And Cancer is symbolized by the crab, and that tough outer shell makes for something which is very resilient, because Cancer is, really kind of, squishy and inside, but, that tough shell, and there's pinchers to the crab. So when the Cancer is threatened or attacked, the pinchers can, come out and, bite you. But, now it's really, we're taking action towards building a sanctuary, building a home, basically. And, the idea of the mama bear is, related to this. And also Mars's action, we can act based off of our emotions, what we feel, moving towards something. We want to go after this because, we want to, we feel really strongly that this is right. We feel the, desire and calling to do this. Or we can base it off of our intuition or instincts and really listen to our gut instinct of what feels right and taking action based off of that. And Saturn's in Pisces, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment. And it's time where we can go to the intuition gem with Mars and Cancer. We can strengthen our intuition since its influence is more prominent to us, since Mars is a personal planet and it's closer to the Earth. We can, really follow our gut and intuition. And, Cancer doesn't like to jump into things. It's, where we can scan the situation out before we just jump into it. Like, is this okay? Is all the circumstances or conditions or criteria met? Is everything going to go to plan? Are all the boxes checked off before we jump into something and take action? And is this going to emotionally nourish us? Is this going to really be worth it for us? Is this going to serve us or soothe us? Um, or yeah. Um, and this is where we can settle down. It's a great time to focus on your home and finding comfort in that environment, about needing a sanctuary where we can feel taken care of, and where we can in turn take care of others, because it's both and, the giving and receiving. And that's what the focus is about. It really relates to the fourth house of home and family and your roots, where we can take action to connect with family and our roots, and to build those emotional foundations and structures for ourselves. Because Cancer deals with being taken care of, and it deals with those innate, human kind of instinctual needs that need to be met for us to feel comfortable and home inside ourselves in our own skin. And Cancer rules the moon, and it does deal with nourishment and taking care of ourselves and our emotions. And Cancer is water, deals with emotions. It's a very emotional sign. So the aspects going on, there's a couple of things happening during this whole transit. The first thing is Mars trining Saturn. Now, we've had this happen a couple of times: September 28, 2022, and November 28th, 2022. Mars was in Cancer. Mars was in Gemini, and Saturn was in Aquarius. But now Mars is in Cancer, and Saturn is in Pisces. And so now Mars is going to trine Saturn in Pisces. And, this is a time to get work done, to get something off the ground, to achieve something, and to be determined and disciplined and focus on our goal, because Saturn is, goals and structures, and it's about really, doing the hard tasks. And, we can have the, courage to, to do those kinds of things, and getting serious about a goal that you want to achieve, or any kind of, foundation or structure that needs to be set in place for a relationship, for example. This can be a good time for that. Now, and we can manifest our goals into reality. Mars sextile Uranus, April 29th. This is happening on April 29th. And this is about Uranus's freedom. It deals with shocks of insight, revelation. It deals with not wanting to follow the crowd, wanting to move away, wanting to choose your own path. So this is the freedom to act on your desires and try something new, and to have fun in the process, about something liberating, of something, maybe, an adrenaline, activity that gets your adrenaline going, like racing or something. But anything really that is new and fun and exciting that you want to try. Great time to go on a roller coaster, or dress in a new way, or learn something new, or go travel somewhere new. And taking a risk. This is an energy that is a positive aspect, because we're talking about a sextile. And now we can take a risk, because both of these planets deal with risk-taking and taking a chance. So we can do something that, we can move ourselves beyond our fears, and do something that we wouldn't probably otherwise consider doing, but now we have the strength and we feel the sense of empowerment to do it, and to go in that direction, and do this activity and meet this person and all those kind of things. And it's not a time to limit yourself and be free or be in fear and be in a state of victimhood and stay small. It's a time to break out of the routines and assertively try something new. It's a masculine energy. And then on May 14th, Mars will trine Neptune in Pisces. So this is a desire to act based off of a feeling of compassion and kindness, where you really, care for others, and you're, acting as sort of, spiritual service acts would be great at this time, or uplifting somebody, empowering somebody, taking care of someone, being there, connecting on a soul level with someone, really being emotionally available, even having a conversation or doing an activity with that person, getting to know them at a deeper level. To also engage in a spiritual activity or spiritual practice, oracle cards, journaling, all those kinds of things, and also to to do something, creative. Because Neptune rules creativity and it rules over the imagination and what is abstract and what is not, in reality. So doing something like, reading, a novel, or, writing something, or watching a film, or, playing a, video game or something, or painting or singing. All these activities would be, really favorable. And Mars also deals with conflict, and with this energy, we can also be kind and compassionate, and we can see the different sides of an argument. We can see the different perspectives, and honor and respect people's perspective, and be assertive without being aggressive, and fight for what we need or want, while considering other people's needs and feelings, and perspectives, and sort of viewpoints in the process, where we're balancing what we want and what we desire with the needs, wants, and desires of others. And we're approaching conflict or negotiation or something, and getting out into the world and achieving what we want to achieve with diplomacy, and again with compassion, because it's Neptune and empathy as well. So this is this transit. I really hope that you enjoy this Mars and Cancer energy, and thank you for tuning in. It will be a wonderful transit. Bye for now.